Dear Xanna, 2020 was a crazy year, and in that year, you accomplished a lot. 2020 was the year that you took a full year off of school at the advice of almost no one. Everyone told you that you would never get back to it, that you would end up a failure, and that ultimately you would not succeed. And in 2020, you proved those people wrong when you went back to college to finish up your bachelor's degree, despite the sickness that raged and rampaged in your body, and despite everyone who was pretty negative against you. 2020 was the year that you finished writing your first novel and also realized that you needed to shelf that project in the same month. You were able to realize that you didn't have the skills to do what you wanted to do, and you recognized that that was okay because you could still do other things. And I'm really proud of you for that. 2020 was the year that everyone didn't see coming, even the people with 2020 vision. 2020 was hard. 2020 was exciting in some ways. 2020 was a lot, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud of the woman that we have become. We faced a lot. We went through anxiety about starting a YouTube channel and putting ourselves out there. We went through the fear of starting a new project and putting one you really loved on the shelf because you weren't good enough. And that's okay, because you literally gave it your all. And even though that wasn't enough, it was at the same time, because you got so far and realized that you just needed to get better to make that the best. And so you started a different project, one that you knew you could accomplish. And look, you are doing it. It is almost done. It is almost ready to be queried. And that is wonderful, Xanna. You did a lot. I started this YouTube channel because I wanted to document my journey towards authorship. And in doing that, this is the kind of video that I want to make. Every once in a while, I want to document my accomplishments and my failures because, trust me, I have a lot of both, and both deserve to be talked about because both have their place in my history, and both can probably have a place in your history. Acknowledging failures and victories is really important. You learn from your failures so that the next time you can be victorious. And if you fail again, you learn from that failure until you become victorious. You take your pitfalls and you run with them. And that is something that I worked really hard on this year. Like I said, I shelved an entire novel. I loved that book and I gave it everything I physically could. And it wasn't enough for the time being, and that is alright. I can acknowledge that. It sucks, but it's reality. The reality is that I wasn't a good enough writer to finish that project to the degree that I wanted it to the degree that it needed and it deserved, because that book is going to be phenomenal when I have the skill to be able to go back and actually make it what I picture it in my mind. And that's alright, because it led me to pursue this project that I'm working on down the Fox path. And it's wonderful. It's going swimmingly. It is almost ready to be queried. It's almost ready to be queried, like I said earlier, and like I've been talking about for a few months. I've had a couple hiccups with my health and with burnout, because as we all know, Xanna likes to push herself until she literally drops dead. And I had COVID, so that's a whole thing. 2020 was a terrifying year for me, and I'm really happy that I got to share a lot of it with you. And one of the terrifying things, as I already said, was starting a YouTube channel, was putting myself out there for you guys. I know I haven't been the most active the past month or so. I've just been really busy, I've been really stressed, I've been really working on my project. But I'm at the place where I can continue filming. Filming is hard. When I fall off of a bandwagon, I fall off really hard, and it takes a lot for me to get back. So the fact that I was even able to just put on some nice makeup and set up my ring light and my camera was a lot for me. And I'm proud of myself for being able to do it. Hey! Go me. But yeah, I'm excited to see the person I become in 2021. The places I'll go. Oh, the places you'll go. I think 2021 is going to be a great year. Can't wait to see the person that I become and how my channel grows and how my life goes, because if there's anything I learned from last year is that things aren't concrete. Things are like written in concrete when concrete is still wet and able to be changed. So like until the concrete actually solidifies, you're pretty well screwed. And I'm learning to be okay with that. Anywho, I would love to hear the things you accomplished in 2020. You don't have to tell me your failures. I didn't really get too far into my failures. My failures were like almost never accomplishing the goals I set for myself, because my body is so unreliable that I could tell myself to do the laundry one day and I'd wake up with a dislocated shoulder. Like, I'm not very good at setting goals and keeping them, so like that's something I need to work on in 2021. But this is not a goals list, this is just a nice open letter to myself. Anywho, let me know in a comment down below what your accomplishments of 2020 were and what you hope to accomplish in 2021. I can't wait to see what we all do. My name is Sanna Renee. I am a fantasy writer here on the YouTubes. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at XannasBooks, where I share little bits about my life as an aspiring author. And I also share a lot of pictures of Maestro, and I've got a new friend who I just shared on Instagram tonight, tonight being Wednesday. And they'll be joining us for a lot of our adventure as well. I will see you next time. Bye!